in this video, I'm going to be explaining basic form for most exercises. So you kind of have an idea of, a basic idea of how to keep good form as you're exercising. So I'm going to start from the head and work down. First of all, with your neck, you want to keep your neck in alignment with your spine. So that means you don't want to tuck your head forward or extend it back. You want it nice and straight with your spine. There are exceptions to this on a couple of different exercises. For example, hip thrusters, where you're on a bench and lifting your hips up. You will be tucking your neck in, but generally you want to keep your neck nice and straight with your spine. Okay, now moving on to your shoulders. You don't want them shrugged like this. Unless you're doing shrugs, you'll keep them nice and back. So bring them back and down, okay? Core, this is the number one most important part of keeping good form. You want to have a nice strong form in your core during any exercise. So I like to do this, you take a deep breath in, and as you're breathing out, imagine a corset wrapping around your waist and then also pulling up through your pelvic floor. So that's how you keep nice good form in your core as you're doing exercises, and you want to keep that in mind because as you're doing any movement, if your core is nice and strong, it's going to help you keep good form in other areas as well and help you get stronger as well. Okay, so your legs, you want to make sure you keep a soft bend in your knees. You don't want to lock out your legs as you're exercising. You want to keep a nice soft bend there. Okay, so generally, I'm going to imagine your body, there's like planes of motion, there's planes in your body. So one goes this way, one's this way, and then one is split in half, okay? So depending on how your arms are turned, that will make a difference on what plane that is. If your hands are this way, the plane is here, okay? If your hands are this way, then you want your form, or you can go further in that. So let me give you an example. So for a lateral raise, if your palms are face down, you don't want to go outside of your range of motion. So imagine staying within the planes of your body. So if your hands are face down, you're out to here. You don't want to extend over above your head when your wrists are face down. You want to keep it right at shoulder level. If your wrists are faced out, then you can go up above your head and keep it out that way. Okay, as you're doing exercises here, you don't really want to go past your waist. You want to pull to your waist and not go outside of that range of motion. Same thing goes for chest presses. Now, as you advance and work on your strength, some of these ranges can be pushed a little bit, but you want to, this is for basic movements, getting into it, you want to kind of stick with those principles, okay? When you're doing a bent over exercise like this, you want to, so this could be bent over rows, it could be deadlifts, you're hinging your hips back. You're not just going forward or squatting, you are hinging your hips back, okay? And you want to keep your neck, like I said, nice and straight with your spine. And as you pull back, don't go outside of your range of motion, keep it here. So that's an example of how to use all of those principles in one exercise. Okay, now I'm going to talk a little bit about some basic movements. Lunges. As you are performing a lunge, you want to keep your knee stacked on top of your ankle. So as you're lunging, you don't want to step forward and go over your knee or over your toes with your knees. You want to keep it nice and in line with your ankle. So as you're stepping, keep it at a 90-degree angle. Okay, with squats, as you're squatting down, you want to try and keep your chest up, okay? So squat, chest is up. It does tend to go forward a little bit, that's okay, but don't try and imagine your chest being pulled up, okay? Then as you come up, you want to squeeze your glutes, but not hyperextend your glutes, okay? So you're squatting and squeeze. Squat, squeeze, not squat, hyperextend. And that's gonna help you keep good form in a squat. Your feet, you wanna kind of drive up through your heels, but imagine like a triangle, 3 points on your foot. Try and keep the weight distributed on those 3 points of your feet. When it comes to chest exercises, generally, as you're doing push-ups or chest presses, you want to keep your arms in alignment with right in the middle of your chest. So as you're pressing or doing a push-up, your hands, you want to come in alignment with your chest. Think about if you were to look from the top of a push-up, your body will look like it's kind of in a slight arrow, like this, with your arms coming back. So push-up position, remember, you're not tucking your head like this, you're not looking forward, you want your neck in alignment with your spine. Your hands are gonna come to chest, middle of your chest. As you push down, it's gonna create an arrow shape with your body. And the same thing when you're doing a chest press is gonna be right there as well. So when you're working your triceps, if you're doing an overhead tricep extension, for example, you want to keep your wrist or your elbows, you don't want them wide, you want them pulled in and go back from there, okay? Keep your elbows in. Same thing if you're doing tricep dips or here, you want to keep your elbows in for triceps. As you're exercising, if you really want to make a difference, if you want to grow your strength, if you want to grow your muscle, if you want to get toned, there's so many benefits to all this. You need to push yourself. If you aren't pushing yourself and feeling that burn and progressing, then it's really not going to benefit you as much as you would like it to. So there's a difference between the burn of, you know, good workout, like, oh my goodness, my arms are getting tired, it's burning, it feels good, and a pain. So if it starts to feel painful, not just that burn, not just that little bit of discomfort, if it's pain and a discomfort that feels wrong, like, or a weird like zip or tingle that you don't feel like is supposed to be there, then that is a good indicator that you need to stop doing the exercise. You either need to drop weight and then continue, you need to rest, or you just need to be done with that exercise for the day. So really pay attention to how your body's feeling. And then also I want to make note as well, as you're doing the exercises, imagine the muscle that you're wanting to target, picture that muscle getting worked, and it will help actually target that muscle more and help you keep the form that you need to for that muscle group. If you have any questions or comments or want to see more of something, follow me on fitnessrewired.jam on Instagram and shoot me a message. Thanks, guys.